Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. It's Cross Examinations with your host, Mike S. Miller. That's me. Hello, Kayla and Tina. What's up, guys? Uh, sorry, I wanted to sit outside at the beginning of this to get some sun because I've been busy. I've been packing up stuff, fulfilling stuff from Whatnot, and now I've been getting back to fulfilling stuff on a previous fundraising campaign that I haven't been very diligent about fulfilling. So if I owe you something from Monster Hunt and you want to get on the top of the list, Monster Hunt 2, that is, please do let me know. I know this shadow is making me look like I'm camouflage, but yeah, I was just going to sit out here for a little bit. By the way, hi, Mike Miller. Nice to meet you. Not a pastor, priest, rabbi, theologian, scholar, just a super genius. Just kidding. Wile E. Coyote. Super genius. Anyways, I have a list of questions, comments from previous episodes that I wanted to get to, but honestly, I just really wanted to sit out in the sun for a little bit and kind of energize a little bit. In fact, I might sit over on this other chair where there's more sun, less annoying shade. Oh my gosh. People ask me why I live in San Diego. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Good evening, Devil's Air, Netherlands time, of course, of course. Got my first official driving lesson. All right. Sorry, I can't read the rest of it because my phone's thing, and gosh darn it, my elbow still is hurting. It's not hurting as bad as it was the day after I did my, or the day I did the plumbing work. Hot water's still working, so that's a good update for me. Fig tree, look at that thing. Do you remember? I think the last time I was out here, that thing was twigs. It's it's just blossomed, not even in full. It's gonna like see those branches. They're gonna have fig leaves all the way going down. It's not just like at the tip, but ah, it's gonna be beautiful. Um, but yes, San Diego. What else have I got to talk about? Man, I was so busy yesterday. I have been so busy since I started doing Whatnot because I'm just drawing all the time. I'm getting commission after commission after commission, and it's really good. It's really, I'll tell you what, it pays more than, I mean, if you're doing it like a job, it pays more than Marvel or DC. So it's a good, my elbow is not good, but I have to drink my coffee, you know? So late. I'm so late. I mean, it's late, but I guess I'm a bit late. Um, it's a good problem or just good? Oh, being so busy? I mean, I like being busy, but this is like pretty busy. Like like in the sense that I'm tied down to a chair. Because when I'm streaming on Whatnot, it's like I'm on. I can't just walk away and go do something for an hour unless I shut down the stream and go and then start it up again. And I don't want to do that, but I mean, I guess I could do it. But starting a stream, you have to go through this whole rigmarole for starting each stream. So um, that's like why tonight, Old Dude Drawn and Quartered, I'm going to start a Whatnot stream at 3, and I have other stuff to do between then. Like I have to go get JoJo at 2:30, and then mail out a bunch of the stuff that I did yesterday for Whatnot, and then I have Drawn and Quartered at 7. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave my Whatnot stream running, and then jump on over into Drawn and Quartered. It worked out last week. Last week I got 2 cover commissions last week. Oh, what should we do for Drawn and Quartered tonight? No Pope? Oh no, there's no Vicar of Christ on earth. Tell you what, I'll be Vicar of Christ on earth. I will represent Christ on earth, as every Christian is supposed to. What does vicar mean, anyways? Does anybody know? Oh no, you overdid it exercising. You got shoulder tendonitis. Oof. Yeesh. Ah, that doesn't sound good. Shoulder tendonitis. What is tendonitis? Is it kind of like tennis elbow? Is that what I have? I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting that I have to figure out, like, I know there's some stretches I can do for it, or at least I saw a few, but um I tried to do it the same day that I like overexerted my elbow with fixing the hot water heater. So no, we have a Pope. That Mahdi guy. Ooh, there's my red tail hawk. You see him? Oh, there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. Those guys live in the house, like 2 trees over. Can you see that tree over there? They have a nest right at the top of that tree. So we got neighborhood red tail hawks. Ooh, he's right above me, or she. I don't know. Since there's 2 of them, I assume that's the pair. Symptoms include pain, swelling, and tenderness in the affected area. I got pain and I got tenderness. I don't know about swelling, but I got the pressure sleeve like that. So tendonitis is an inflammation or irritation of a tendon, the tough bands of tissue that connect muscles to bones. It often occurs due to overuse, repetitive movements, or sudden, sharp movements. I noticed the pain. It's like, actually, that does hurt. The pain hurts most when I try to grab something and then twist. Grabbing and twisting is what's hurt. So it's like maybe it's the tendons that are connected to my flexors going all the way up to my elbow. Probably something like that. It's a rotator cuff plus some tendon aware. It's like a rotator cuff. Uh, oh man, this sun feels so amazing. You know, like when it's not hot, the air is cool, breezy, or like doesn't have to be cool, just like perfect. The breeze is good, the sun is warm. You just want to fall asleep out here. Oh, so good. And then it gives you energy at the same time. It's kind of weird. Had physiotherapy. Again, I cannot read the rest of that. I really get irritated with StreamYard on my phone. All right. I've been out here for almost 9 minutes. Maybe that's enough sun to get my juices flowing. All right. Exercising to get my arms strength back. Gotcha. Ginger is good for inflammation. I've seen recipes for homemade ginger. Blah, 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 blah. Links. I can't read that part. All right. You know what? It's been 9 minutes. I'm going to go inside. Bring my coffee. What's left of it. I'll just get another glass after I'm done with cross examinations because I want to get to those argumentative commentaries. Because that's the fun part of cross examinations is the argumentative commentaries. Oh. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Let's put you here. My little thing. And then me. go find where I'm supposed to be. Oh, there it is. Man alive. All right. StreamYard. I accidentally shut this off before I went in because, like, my computer was so slow. That's another reason I wanted to go on my phone. My computer was killing me again, and I'm gonna have to mute myself. It's like I teleported. Nice chandelier. Is this your dining room? No, this used to be my daughter's room way many years ago. And so we put a cute little chandelier up there. I have an office fan light chandelier thing that I just have not gotten around to installing. It's just been sitting in the garage for years in the box. New in the box. I could, if I need money, I could go take it back to what do you call it? Oh my gosh, is this not going on X? Or did X stop doing the fake viewers thing? Let's see. You are live. Okay, I am live on X, and I'm live here. All right. All right. Welcome. Homemade ginger soda. Should I share some links? If you want to. Got your photosynthesis on. Time for Bible reading. Yes, I'm going through some serious Ivan Drago training montage. If he dies, he dies. All right. Let me find where I put that commentary. Here it is. All right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this on this side of the screen, and then just put this one up on this side of the screen. All right, there we go. Or let's start back at the beginning. Let's see. Robert Ingersoll. I think I read this one, didn't I? This one was from Awful Redneck Gaming. Robert Ingersoll was an agnostic, often labeled an atheist due to his rejection of theism and criticism of Christianity, but he explicitly identified as an agnostic, emphasizing uncertainty over denial. He was not a Christian, as he rejected Christian doctrine, the Bible, and the church's influence, advocating instead for secular morality and free thought. No such thing as secular morality. Sorry, guys. He isn't the atheist that many believe he was, nor was he a Christian. Knowledge is power. Thank you, Awful Redneck Gaming. Joe says, time of year we make limoncello. I remember limoncello from, actually I have some in the freezer. But first time I had it was in Italy. I had the limoncello in Italy when I was there for my honeymoon. It is a very sweet liqueur made from the skins of the grape. Oh no, it's grappa. That's grappa. I was thinking about they make grappa from the skins of the grape that after they press the wine, they ferment the skins of the grape, and it's like moonshine. It's like Italian moonshine. You have a limoncello from 30 years ago? No. They sell it here at Trader Joe's. So I have a bottle of it. I like to have a nice glass of vodka and put a little bit of limoncello in there for a little flavoring. Because limoncello by itself is like super. Remember those little lemon heads, the little candies? It's like if you took one of those and you just melted it into liquid. That's what limoncello tastes like. It's so sugary and sweet. Anyways, all right. Brooklyn Lou, in asking why why atheists evangelize. In Greece, we call that Rocky or Raki.
Reiki. The skins of the grape is some serious fuel. Yes. Um, Brooklyn Lou says, I evangelize atheism because of Donald J. Trump. And that is because I watched Christian nationalists get him elected and am also watching my country let religion seep into my government and public schools. I also think that being an atheist is a better life choice for human beings. All right. Well, that last part is objectively false. There's no metric. I don't think there's any metric you could name wherein atheism is a better life choice for human beings. Like no measurable objective metric, right? Like sociologically, socially, psychologically, health-wise, anything. What is your objective metric anywhere that gives atheism a leg up on Christianity? Because following atheism's path, we're headed to extinction. I don't know if you realize that, but when you don't repopulate the people, the end of that is extinction. And the road to extinction is through poverty. I hate to tell you this, but it's like if you don't have a growing population, you have a dying economy. That's the way it works. It's you need more people to do more stuff to create a bigger economy. The more people you have, the bigger the economy you can have, and the better off everybody is. It works in the reverse too. So as your atheist secular mind virus sweeps over the country and people think it's more important to save the planet than the people, and they don't want to, I don't want to bring a child into this world. Great. You're destroying the economy. And like I said, the road to extinction is going to stink. Stink is the operable word in the road to extinction. I watched Christian nationalists get him elected, which was a good thing. Also watching my country let religion seep into my government. Well, bro, you would hate the founding fathers, the guys that created that government that you so love. And also, by the way, public schools, you know who created public schools? The church. The church created public schools for people to read the Bible. We, the church, created schools in order to encourage people to be Christians. That secular atheist communists have taken over those institutions is anathema to the purpose of those institutions. Our government was founded in such a way that our founders said our Constitution is only viable for a religious and moral people. It is inadequate. It is wholly inadequate for any other. The any other would be atheists. So I'm sorry, Lou, but you are so ass backward on this. It's kind of amazing. I'll say it is a little bit amazing. All right. What's up, Larry Romano? It is a beautiful day, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Corpse Grinder. For control and money, not to better social progress. Which part of what I was saying are you responding to? Pretty much, Mike, especially when these people are celebrating having abortions, sick, and you can't make children with 2 men or 2 women. Yeah, it's like everything they're trying to do is in order to depopulate, and it's anti-human, which is hilarious that these guys go around saying they're secular humanists. You're not a human if you support policies that lead humanity into extinction. Unless you're saying it ironically. Churches teaching the Bible to kids was for control and money. not to better social progress. Well, what is social progress to you? Getting to the point where men can go into the bathroom with little girls? This is where your social progress has led us. I'm not saying there is never any need for social progression. There are people who are just wrong, but there's wrong and there's right. I don't even know if you want to call it progress, unless your progress is moving towards what is right. Moving towards letting men into girls' bathrooms is not what is right. Moving progress into aborting billions at this point of babies on this planet. I know it's only millions in America. It's over 40 to 50 million, I think, is the range now that they're calculating. But billions around the world of babies have been aborted. Is this the social progress? The extinction of humankind? Is this social progress? I'm pretty sure you need humanity to have the social part. Christianity is the oblate of the masses, says Jeff. Well, they dang sure no longer teach that. I believe they even quit teaching critical thinking. That is, bro, even when I was an agnostic, like I went to college and one of the first classes I took was critical thinking. And I was like, why is this not taught in high school or in middle school? Why do you have to get to college to take a critical thinking class? This class should be mandatory for like every stage of school. There should be a critical thinking class in elementary school, like an elementary level critical thinking class, or at least like a term in it, something like that. And then you should have a higher level one for middle school students. And then you should have a college level one for high school students. But they don't, because they don't want you thinking critically going through public school. They don't. And it's sad. And then you end up coming out a liberal. Classical education was founded by the church. Correct. I never said anything about bathrooms, bro, but that's where your progression leads. That's where leftist progression has led us. It is, I mean, I've been saying you can see it. The further away we get from the Bible and truth, the more deranged the society gets. That's just, you've got to have boundaries. And ultimately, you can't have boundaries with a moral system that says there's no objective morality. If that's the case, there's no, I mean, throw people in ovens. You know, there's no objective moral boundary without objective teaching truth. Give the state of the public school system these days, maybe going back to teaching kids the Bible is a better solution. Yep. I'm a trad commie. I would send blue hair whales to the Gulag fitness program. I got to get back. I've been listening to the Gulag Archipelago again. And geez Louise. I never get through that whole book. I don't know why I keep starting it over. But it's long and torturous to listen to. For some reason I like it. It's just the absolute degradation of humanity that we can fall into so quickly. And then we watched this happen during COVID, and I was like, holy cow. I can so easily now see how you can have an entire population, or at least the majority of a population, turn into Soviets who would happily turn in their mothers and their sisters and their brothers and their children for saying something bad about dear leader. I can see how the majority of the people would be supportive of throwing Jews into gas chambers or, concentration camps or whatever. I can see how all this stuff happened because we just went through it with COVID on a less severe, but I mean, so quickly. How quickly did your neighbors turn against you? How quickly did that fear convert them into little Nazis? Oh my gosh. Fear is, man, it is such a powerful tool in the hand of totalitarians. Everyone can poop together. Pervs will be pervs no matter what rules we set. Here's the thing, though. If there's no rules, then we can't punish them for being pervs, right? Which gives them more motivation to be pervs, which gives them actually, with no motivation, with no punishment, it gives them permission to go into that bathroom and molest little Debbie. Without rules, without those laws, they have permission. They have permission. Because you can't do it. The only person that can do anything about that at that point is the father. And, he should, justifiably. The church was always in favor of educating the populace, including the liberal arts. And even then, you got a little too far, right? Did schools ever teach critical thinking? I mean, not when I was in school. When I was in school in the 70s to the 90s. So, isn't that crazy? The 70s to the 90s, I was in school. Because they want their sheep dumb, dumb, dumb. Yep, and echoing their bullcrap, their propaganda. That's exactly how they want it. And that's how they've managed it. For thousands of years, there have been public bathhouses. You realize that a bathhouse is not a bathroom, right? You know that, right? A public bathhouse. Have you been in a public bathhouse? I have in Japan. And it's not... First of all, it's not a bathroom. It's not a small secluded area where you go like one or two people at a time. Public bathhouses have, it's a large group of people. So if like some creepy old man starts molesting some little kid in a public bathhouse, he's probably going to get the crap kicked out of him by the other people in there. That's not quite the same thing as going into a closed, secluded area and molesting it. I don't want to talk about this. It's, that you're defending this is ridiculous. It's not the Christians taking critical thinking out of the curriculum, right? The pervs should not be enabled in the first place. Exactly. They should be disabled. Brooklyn Luke, considering James 2, why do Christians even follow and look for guidance from pastors who walk on $1 million stage wearing $5,000 suits and $500 shoes or sneakers? Why are Christians so gullible? James, it's a good question. I've never been one to. I'm adamantly anti-prosperity doctrine. You know what I mean? Although the $1 million stage thing, I don't know how much it costs to build it. What I do know, like I used to go to the Rock. Miles McPherson is the largest church plant in history. His first day of his church had 5,000 people. So it was like just off the bat, he had to build a giant church. I mean, okay, the first day we were at UCSD because they had an auditorium big enough to seat everybody that wanted to go see Miles preach. But he did not walk around in $5,000 suits. He usually wore a sweater and just pants and sneakers. $500 sneakers? Probably not. Although he was a professional football player before that, so he could have afforded the $500 sneakers on his own. That's not the point. Yeah, people who enrich themselves from the flock, like my pastor, he or in the planting of his church, he said, "I never want to make more than a public school teacher at my age, like the age of a public school teacher." So that's what he set his salary at. So he's been doing it for a while, so obviously he's going to get raises like a public school teacher would. But he preemptively thought of that. He's like, he's not here to get rich. Like, I don't even monetize my channel. I'm not a pastor, but so no, I'm with you. It's like dude, it's not like there aren't going to be people here to flock the sheep. Wolves among sheep is a thing. Why do people follow them? I don't know. Some of those guys just do these feel good. Look, even Joel Osteen, right? He does these feel good. It's really soft-footed Christianity. But like, I have a friend right now who she's going through a really, really rough time with a divorce and all of this kind of stuff. Her husband just turned into a total creep and bailed on her. And she's shocked herself because she's been listening to Joel Osteen, because right now she just needs a message of positive affirmation. She like really needs some positivity in her life. And like, I guess so, it can serve a purpose, but you're certainly not going to get like deep into the nitty gritty of what the Bible teaches with a guy like that. Yeah, most Christians don't go to those churches. Why do atheists always use the exception of the rule when criticizing Christians? Good point. It's funny, most of your beliefs come from men in dresses and leather skirts. Leather skirts? Oh, you mean Romans? Men in dresses. Now, see, pants weren't invented. When were pants? I'm going to look that up. When were pants invented? Pantaloons. When were pants invented? I need another window. Central Asia and China. Wow, pretty old in Central Asia and China. How about in the West? When were pants introduced in the Western world? Pants were worn in Western Europe in the 3rd century BCE. Zipper was invented in 1890. All right, so in the Western world, how about the Middle East? In the Middle East. This is such a worthless squirrel. I'm chasing it anyways. Just give me the dang answer. Generating answer. 6th century. 6th century. Oh, no, wait. No, yeah. So, I mean, I guess it would be a little difficult for guys to wear pants in the time of the Bible, the thousands of years of the Bible, because simply they hadn't been introduced to the Middle East till the 6th century, till Muhammad's time. Isn't that funny? So it was not a male female delineative item. Megachurches are extremely influential in Christian circles. I know this is a fact. Maybe they were influential in your circles, although influential in the sense that they probably have more money and can move like in political action and stuff. Maybe, is that what you're talking about? Maybe that's what you're talking about. I could agree with that. At least they define themselves as men. Yes. Everybody refers to Gulag Archipelago, but never mentions what Solzhenitsyn said after living in the U.S. What did he say after living in the U.S.? A civilized man wears a tunic. Only barbarians wear pants. But a tunic is your top. What are you talking about? A civilized man wears a tunic, which is a shirt. Barbarians wear pants. Only barbarians. So civilized men only wear shirts, no pants. The mind killer. What's a lie? I'm not sure how much influence mega churches have on Christianity. On Christianity, I don't think they have any influence at all. On politics, perhaps, because they have a greater organization and that thus access to more money, so they can fund more stuff into like PACs and whatnot. But into the actual faith of the Christian world, I don't know about that. Like, even I think a lot of the mega churches, they don't teach a lot of in-depth Bible stuff. Like even Miles, it's like, I love Miles to death, and he's a great evangelist, and he brings a lot of people to faith, but his messages are very surface level. And I think if you want a deeper Bible study, you need to go to a teacher that just, that's their shtick. They get into the nitty gritty, like the Chuck Misslers of the world or whatever. Although he's passed on, so I don't know who you go to now. But he's got lots of stuff on YouTube. But if he wanted to, never mind. This I don't understand the point of the argument. There are 2 billion Christians are going to tell me that Joel Osteen or whatever his name is controls all of them. Don't be a stooge. What's up, Smoky Saint Polemics? Welcome to the chat. Mega churches are crap. I don't care for organized religion. Well, it's better than disorganized religion, Tina. The thing about organized religion is that you can actually help things. You can't have a disorganized ministry or a disorganized missionary group, or you organize the people together in order to help with greater things. Like we take these big donations at the end of every year for we donate, we as a church donate to there's an orphanage in Mexico that we helped build and support. What is that? Para Niños, Los something Para Niños. And then we help with, there's a ministry here, I think it's in San Diego, that helps bring people out of sex trafficking and like supports them as they transfer into a more normalized life. And we donate to Never Thirst, which digs wells around the world for people in desperate need of water. I think there's another one, but I can't remember what it is. But we organize this drive to donate to these different charities every year for our Christmas offering. So don't dig on organized religion. It's much better than disorganized religion. But that's not where your faith lies. Your faith does not lay in the organization of a religion. It is directly between you and Christ. Crazy is I was in school during the 70s and 80s, Mike. All right. Well, you graduated. Yeah, I graduated high school in 89, but I was in junior college till 92. Those bathhouses were only for men, by the way. Yeah, in Japan too. I mean, I heard, I did not witness, but I heard that they did that intersexual bathhouses, or both sexual whatever it is, bathhouses in Japan. But the one I went to, it was just men. A bathhouse is not a place to get clean. Yeah, you have to shower before you go into the bath, because you're not there to scrub up your dirties. Why don't you just admit your hatred for Christians lures you into believing any lie they tell you? Of course not. I said that they are influential, and specifically in America. Do you agree? These are mostly run by charlatan businessmen. I don't know. I mean, I know that like Miles isn't. He runs a mega church. I don't know how big it is now. It's probably pretty big. I think when I left, it was 13,000 people. So that's a mega church, but he's not a charlatan. And like Charles Stanley, I think he does a mega church, and he's definitely not a charlatan. So I think there are examples of charlatans. Absolutely. Do I think most mega churches are run by charlatan businessmen? No. But I have not. I don't know how many mega churches there are. Here, actually, let's do that real quick. How many churches over 5,000 have over 5,000 members in America? That would classify as a mega church, over 5,000 members. 10,000. 10,000 is a giga church. 50 churches have 10,000 to 47,000. So that's 50, right? How many charlatans can you name? Even going by like just ones you think. I could probably, I don't want to name a bunch of people, but even in my entire life, I mean, the Bakers, I think, I don't want to name a bunch of people, but I'd probably say maybe 5, right? 5 names would probably come to mind when you think of what you consider a charlatan. There's 50 giga churches. Giga, not even mega. Giga. There's probably hundreds of mega churches, but there's 50 giga churches, over 10,000 weekly attendees. And you could probably think of 5 of them. So mostly run by charlatan businessmen. I think that's highly, highly unlikely. John Smith, it's just a bathroom, so childish to care who uses what bathroom. Children get molested in those bathrooms, John. Don't you think that's kind of an issue? Let's not pretend atheists can't be gullible either. Yeah, all right. It's not a Christian thing. There are people that religiously follow celebrities. We were warned that there are wolves among sheep. True. Joe says, when church is an aspect of the state, then all that luxury is excused as necessary prestige and display of power. I disagree, but that's the logic. You talking about like the Vatican? El Vaticano. Yeah. I hear that. I was a little sickened when I went to the Vatican. I'm like, I don't think this is what Christ was here for. I don't. It was beautiful. I'm not going to deny it was beautiful, but I'm like, this is not what Christ was here for. I'll tell you that. Joel Osteen, yuck. Yeah, I'm not a fan either. I'll grant you, I've never listened to anything more than a few minutes of his, so I am. Maybe I'm being a little, what's the word? Judgmental, but he seems very cringe to me. Most Christians are Catholic. Oh, Larry. I don't think that's true. Actually, let's do it. Let's check it out. Percentage of Christians by denomination. Nope. Just under most. 48.6% of Christians are Catholic. Almost, Larry. Almost. It's like how Christians ignore the path and idolize Jesus instead, not doing what he said, but just loving Jesus will save you. Christians ignore the path and idolize Jesus. You can't idolize Jesus. Jesus is God. Idol worship is worshiping something other than God, but Jesus is God. You cannot idolize God. That's right. Loving Jesus is what saves you. Doing what he said is an act of love. That's the action of loving Jesus. But it's not the action that saves you. It's the loving that saves you. They weren't considered too feminine article of clothing. No. Pants are for barbarians. Civilized men need air. You can't idolize you. Exactly, Larry. So, of course, atheists can be gullible, but Christians are supposed to have a Holy Ghost who informs them, no? Yeah, but we're not always that good at listening to it, are we? Didn't the priests use some kind of trousers in their garbage? Or am I mixing it up with somewhere else? What priests are you talking about? The Persians wore pants, not until the 600s. 600 AD. They wore pants. Pants in the East were very old, like 1000 BCE. Before BC, 1000 BC, pants were around in Asia, but not in the Middle East. I just looked it up. Mega churches was YouTube for Christians in the 80s and 90s. A tunic is a skirt. A tunic is a shirt. Tunic. I'm just going to go to images. I'm going to boot male tunic. Tunic is a shirt, bro. Anybody can use poor reason. True. So will you admit that being a Christian does not give you a superpower of discernment? Yeah, I mean, you pray you have discernment, and you the thing about discernment is you try to familiarize yourself with the truth enough that when the lie appears, it rubs you the wrong way. So no, it's not. I mean, you can have a super sensitive discernment, it'd be a gift, I would say. But everyone has discernment to one level or another. Can the Holy Spirit give you a superpower of discernment? Yes. Does it always? Does he always? No. So no, it's not an automatic thing. I know good Christian people with very poor discernment. Civilized men wear a chiton. Chiton. I find it ironic that men in dresses and leather skirts was supposed to be a slight against the prophets, teachers, all while pushing for progressive values, i.e., men in dresses and skirts. Yes, men in women's clothing. That's the difference. It's not men in skirts; it's men in women's clothing. That's the issue, right? A tunic, leggings, and greaves. Greaves are like shin guards. I know this crap because I draw medieval stuff all for decades. Christians tell me often they have special powers of discernment given by a Holy Ghost. Well, some of them might. That doesn't mean all of them do, but for certain, some of them do. For me, the truth, like lies, just really rub me the wrong way. When something doesn't feel right, it just really rubs me the wrong way. When I say organized religion, I'm meaning the big mega churches. Sorry, I did not say that correctly. Well, again, not every big mega church is. I'm not going to go to one just because it's. I mean, I left the Rock as much as I love Miles and I love his teaching, and it's great, and he's a great evangelist and all that stuff. The smaller church is more of a family, right? It's like you can go to a smaller church, plug in really easy. You see the same people every week, every study, you get into small groups and do all that kind of stuff. I think it is more, I mean, that's how the church started, right? It was like 20 people at a time. And if it got much bigger than that, they'd just split off and do, somebody would go lead another mini church. It'd be like 20 people. Francis Chan, one of the greatest, most Christian guys you can name. He gave up his mega church to do what the Bible's, what the early church did. He gave up his mega church to do mini church. Like he'd have like 20 guys, and then he'd raise up one of the guys in his little mini church to split off and start a little mini church. And so he went from being a mega church pastor to, and he'll still go speak at mega churches and stuff and do engagements like that. But he's like, this isn't what the early church did. So he gave all that up and then started mini church. So a handful of Christians being suckered and lying to themselves, therefore, means all Christians do the same thing, right? Lou is he's not skeptical. He's cynical. Lou, you should really change your name to Brooklyn Lou the Cynic, because you've given up skepticism pretty hard. You're a straight up cynic. Mega churches do have thousands in attendance, but non-mega churches throughout America, plus the Catholic Church, outweigh them by a lot still. They are not a majority. Yeah, this majority of mega churches, that's absolute hogwash. Stop minimizing. Christians all over say they are given powers of discernment by a Holy Ghost. It is actually part of Christian doctrine, my friend. I mean, you pray for discernment. You absolutely do pray for discernment. I don't know that it's a gift everyone is just auto imbued with. I don't remember that part in the Bible. And again, what a Christian says and what's actually in the Bible are not necessarily the same thing. Oh, now you know what all Christians. All right. My mama loves her some Charles Stanley. Before she went into the home, she listened to him every day. He's great. Yeah. What is a mega church? Is it like a megazord? A mega church is a church with over 5,000 congregants. There's probably Catholic mega churches and Orthodox mega churches. A giga church, I just learned that today, is a church with over 10,000 attendees, weekly attendees. And there's 50 giga churches in America. And Brooklyn Lou, I bet you couldn't name 5 charlatans that run giga churches, mega churches. Okay, you guys just keep arguing. Joyce Meyer. My wife loves Joyce Meyer. I'm not a huge fan. Children get molested in churches too. What does that have to do with anything? See, the thing is, if somebody gets caught, okay, I'm gonna, sorry, Catholicism. Sorry, Larry. If somebody gets caught generally in a Protestant church, they get kicked the hell out. They get reported to the police. They get removed, and they have no more influence or attack or access to children in any way. I know the Catholic Church went through its own thing with that. It doesn't even need to be expounded on. But yeah, it would be outright, unequivocally condemned. I mean, even by Catholic, I'm not going to say it wouldn't be by Catholics unless they're just freaking brainwashed cultists who are trying to defend what the church did by hiding all of their child molesting priests. But honestly, you have more teachers in the public school system molesting kids than you ever did in the Catholic Church. So, You still send your kids to public school, don't you? I mean, I don't, but you probably would. Discernment to test whether or not certain doctrine is truly from God. If you mean that, Lou, yes, indeed. All right, you guys keep on with the discernment argument. I'm not going to access that anymore. The bathroom predators doesn't use donations to pay off families. And okay, that's a Catholic thing. And again, nobody here, not even Larry, who is a Catholic, is going to condone what the Catholic Church did to hide and pay off families, right? But Corpse Grinder, are you going to send your kids to public schools? Because they get molested by teachers way more than the Catholic Church ever did. Oh my gosh. Brooklyn Lou the Cynic. Change your name, Lou. You're using skeptic wrong. I'm going to go over to Grok and do James chapter 2. Doug Finn says Catholic ain't Christian. I know Catholics who are good Christians. I definitely disagree with a lot of the dogmas of the Catholic Church, as everybody here who's ever watched me for 5 minutes knows. But I'm not going to take away that if you believe the Nicene Creed and you believe that Christ is God and that he died for your sins and rose again on the third day, that's the Bible. The Bible makes you a Christian. The Catholic Church may add a bunch of hogwash. You debate that all day long, but just to carte blanche say Catholics aren't Christians is not a biblical take. All right, let's see here. James 2. Deepest possible. Hold on, I gotta scroll up to the beginning of it. All right. Present green. I'm sorry. Dang it. Bible time and the living was easy. All right. So, okay, Lou, if that's what you mean, then you mean your circles, not Christian circles. That's your circles. That's you. When you say Christian circles, you're talking about you're referencing the entirety of Christianity. And I grant you, everybody's circle is a little different. 100% different, 100% biblical, different gospel, different Jesus. No, Jesus is God, the Son of God, lived, died, for our sins, born again, or resurrected on the third day. And that is the Jesus of Catholicism is Jesus. They add a bunch of stuff that, again, a Protestant would disagree with. And that's why there's Protestantism. But how can you say it's a different Jesus? And yes, I know they add a lot of sort of works, righteousness stuff, but Grim Theorist, that is completely wrong. If that was true, there would be no Christianity. Did you know that? Why do people start tumbling in right at the end of the show? Can't you come in at the beginning of the show and start arguing the stuff? I'm my daddy. I am my own grandpa. I am my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I am my own grandpa. Christians are mistaken. No, you're mistaken. Sadly. All right, James 2, translated with deepest meaning. My brothers, hold no faith in our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory, with partiality's taint. for favoritism dims the light of his truth in your hearts. Grim and BS, this is James. This is Jesus' brother, right? Jesus' brother. What would it take for you to believe that your brother, the guy you grew up with, was God? Just think about that. Think about that for a minute. What would it take? If a man enters your gathering, gold gleaming on his fingers, robed in splendor, and a poor man comes clad in rags and want, and you honor the rich, saying, "Sit here in pride of place," while to the poor you sneer, "Stand there or crouch by my feet." Have you not carved division among yourselves, your hearts turned judges, swayed by evil's crooked measure? Listen, my beloved brothers. Has not God chosen the poor, lowly in this world's eyes, to be rich in faith, heirs of the kingdom promised to those who love him? Yet you scorn the poor, dishonoring those God lifts. Is it not the rich who crush you, dragging you to courts with their iron grip? Do they not blaspheme the noble name invoked over you, the name of Christ, your shield and call? If you fulfill the royal law, as Scripture decrees, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. You do well, your life a melody of God's command. But if you show partiality, you sin, convicted by the law as transgressors, your bias a fracture in its holy frame. For whoever keeps the whole law, yet stumbles at one point, stands guilty of all, its chain unbroken, its breach a fall. He who said, "Do not commit adultery," also said, "Do not murder." If you shun one, yet break the other, you shatter the law's seamless will. Speak and act as those judged by the law of liberty, its freedom not license, but a mirror of God's righteous heart. For judgment is merciless to the merciless, yet mercy triumphs over judgment, its grace a crown for those who love. What profit, my brothers, if one claims faith, yet bears no works? Can such a hollow faith save its echo void of life? If a brother or sister stands naked, lacking daily bread, and you say, "Go in peace, be warmed, be filled," yet give no aid, what profit is your word, a breath that leaves their need unmet? So faith, if it lacks works, lies dead, barren, a husk without a pulse of God's living power. One may say, "You have faith, I have works. Show me your faith apart from works, and I will show my faith by my works, its fruit a witness to my soul." This goes back to what you were saying earlier. I don't remember who was it. Was it Corpse Grinder? Saying that these Christians don't do the works because they think they're saved by faith. We are saved by faith, but a faith that produces works is real faith. Just saying you have faith is not a saving faith. A faith that produces works is a saving faith but it's not the works that saves, it's works that evidence the faith. That's what we were talking about earlier. You believe God is one, you do well. Even demons believe and shudder, their knowledge cold, devoid of love's transforming fire. Foolish one, will you not see? Faith without works is empty, a shadow cast without the substance of God's call. Was not Abraham our father justified by works, offering Isaac his son on the altar, his faith made visible in obedient love? See, his faith wove with his works, faith perfected through action, its fullness a tapestry of trust and deed. Thus Scripture was fulfilled. Abraham believed God, and it was counted as righteousness, and he was called God's friend, his heart bound to the eternal. You see, a person is justified by works, not faith alone, their deeds a mirror of the faith that saves. So too Rahab, the harlot, was she not justified by works, welcoming the spies and sending them safely another way, her courage a flame of faith? For as a body without breath lies dead, so faith without works is lifeless, its form empty, awaiting the spirit of God's living will. Ba, 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 ba. Jesus isn't even from David's line of gods. His dad. You clearly haven't read the Bible. Grim, we have two genealogies of Jesus, and both of them are from David's line. We have Joseph, the adoptive father, which when you're adopted, you are part of the family, so therefore you are in the line. And you have Mary, the physical, who also, the genealogy also goes all the way back to David. So yes, in both senses, both legally, because that's what the Joseph's line makes him legally Davidic. Mary's line makes him biologically Davidic. So in both cases, he is the son of David. Show where adoption permits tribal inheritance. Like in the Bible? I mean, honestly, I don't even have to look this up. Even in Abraham himself, right? Abraham himself, his inheritance, if he did not have a son, his inheritance would have gone to what's his name? Oh my gosh. What was his servant's name? Somebody give me Abraham's servant's name. The one that he would have inherited everything. It wouldn't have even been his wife. His servant would have inherited everything. Abraham had a son though, right? But Abraham had a son in a very late age. Prior to that, it would have been Eleazar, I believe. It would have been Eleazar would have inherited his right. No, not Hagar. Hagar was Sarah's servant. And that's in Genesis. So adoption in the Bible, historical and theological. The Old Testament presents adoption as a means of preserving family lineage and inheritance, often within the context of tribal and familial structures. One notable example is in the story of Moses. Who was adopted by Pharaoh's daughter. Active adoption not only saved Moses' life, but positioned him uniquely to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. In the New Testament, adoption takes a more spiritual dimension. But yeah, you don't even need to be adopted. You can, someone who you designate can take your inheritance. I mean, obviously with Eleazar, that was the option prior to him having a son. I thought, which I think is funny because it didn't even go to Sarah. It wouldn't go to Sarah. If Abraham died, Sarah wouldn't inherit his land and goods. It would have been Eleazar. But anyways, I'm almost 10 minutes over the mark. Guys, please try to get here on time if you want to start debating and stuff, because this is supposed to be an hour-long show, and you guys have been pushing me over the hour mark past couple days, and I need to. I have a lot of. I'm a very, very busy guy. I know I don't look like it, but it's true. So hit the Discord, join. Subscribe so you actually get notifications when the show starts. That might help, etc., etc. Land inheritance isn't the same as tribal inheritance. What do you think the purpose of tribal inheritance is? It is for the purpose of land inheritance. And Eleazar was Aaron's son. Gosh, then who was it? I don't know. You look it up. It's the same guy who I mean, he's all over with Abraham. He's Abraham's servant who would have been his inheritor. At any rate, God bless everybody, and have a good day, sinners, says Kai. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.